Hello everybody! I'm hoping this video is going to be a shorter one because A, I've spent too many... I've tried to make this video too many times, and B, I want some videos to be short, otherwise I'll never be able to keep releasing them. Yeah, I tried to make this video a few times before and there was something wrong with the audio. It was pretty awful. So I had to delete a lot of work, and I was before I was doing a version of this where I was drawing a picture while talking, but for time's sake I'm just going to go through a few screenshots. Yeah, anyways, I'm going to talk about what I am reading currently, and this is just a tip of the iceberg because I'm always reading too many things to properly keep track of or talk about, because I'm I'll start this and then I'll put it aside and start this, and it's I'm a very spontaneous reader. But anyways, what I read pretty much all the time, when it comes to reading for fun, is, you guessed it, comics. Yay! So this week I actually have some print comics to talk about, which is different because normally I mostly read web comics, and print comics are a little bit harder for me to get into for a few reasons. I think, because you have to pay for them, and also because there's just so much to it's a bit overwhelming. There's so many different versions of characters and stories and stuff. It's hard to know where to start. But yeah, I do read print comics sometimes, and I have in the past. And yeah, this week I have a couple print comics to read, even though I didn't actually get print versions of them. I got digital versions, but let's talk about 3 titles today. 2 of them are print. So the first title I'm going to talk about is Primer, which is a graphic novel put out by DC, which is about this adorable Disney-looking girl here named Ashley, who is a foster kid. And she finds this briefcase full of paints which actually give you superpowers that were developed by the military, and she doesn't know this, but it's because her mom works as a scientist for the military, and she took them home to hide them because she was concerned about what the military was doing with them. And yeah, as you can see here, she's using the paints to grow gigantic with these dumb knight characters. Now this story might sound silly, but it was more nuanced and interesting than I thought it would be. I knew it would be fun, but it was good, okay? It wasn't just fun kid stuff. I think it was really interesting too. And no offense to fun kid stuff. I love fun kid stuff. Read it all the time. I'm a kid inside. Mostly. So anyways, Primer, check it out. It's a fun read. I hope they make more. This kid's a good kid. I love her. What else? So this is and this is very different from the previous title. I read The Last Ronin, issue 2. I read issue 1 around Christmas, I think, or early New Year. But I got my hands on the second issue recently, and yeah, I just finished it the other day. So yeah, very different, very grim, and really sad. I think this issue was sadder than the first one. It's about Michelangelo, who's the last, and again, by the way, I think this is an alternate story that isn't set in the main comics, and which is probably why they did something so crazy with it, right? So Mikey is the last surviving turtle. He's a lot older, and his mutation has evolved a lot, but he finds out in the last issue that April O'Neil is still alive, and and in this issue he finds out she has a daughter named Casey, who the original Casey Jones was the father of this Casey Jones, or Casey O'Neil. I don't know what she's going by. Yeah, but there were some really nice things about this issue, where Mikey just gets to catch up with Casey and April, which, some much needed peaceful scenes to this often gruesome, gritty comic. But yeah, it's it's a pretty good read. I think if you like slightly more mature comics, honestly it's not that bad to me, but yeah, and if you're a fan of Ninja Turtles, it's probably a really important story, so yeah, check it out for sure. And what am I talking about next? Okay, so a webtoon I caught up with recently, Microhunter. Now this one is I've always really liked the art in it. It's even though this is a thriller, a really intense thriller that's sometimes really gruesome, the art is really peaceful and soft and warm, and just kind of helps you swallow the horrible stuff that's happening, you know? Another thing that helps is the characters are really wholesome and innocent. Well, most of the characters, or a lot of them. Well, except for some of the, actually a lot of the, like, side characters are not, but, I mean, like, maybe it's a weakness. It's almost, like, a little bit hard to believe that the characters would be this calm a lot of the time, and they're not always, but it's really fun, I think, overall, and I really liked how season 1 ended. Or was that, yeah, it was season 1. It was really satisfying, and it went right into season 2, no hiatus, so that's pretty impressive. Okay, we have a lineup of a bunch of the main characters. Yeah, I really like the designs. Lots of nice variety there, I think. Different ages. Yeah, I would recommend it. Oh, by the way, it's a story about people who shrink down really tiny. And when you're really tiny, it's actually surprising how many things are completely hazardous. Like, how many ways you can die. I think it's exaggerated a little bit, but yeah, oof. It's a little bit shocking at first, but you get used to it. Anyways, I think, yep, that's all the images I have, so that's what I've been reading this week. What have you been reading? Feel free to let me know if you want to talk about it, and yeah, I'll see you next week, hopefully. Bye!